Hey guys, it is Keisha from Keisha Knows Nothing or a Little Bit of Something, and I have a video for all of you hustlers out there or people who are just trying to transition into freelance work or just doing their own thing and making their own money. So before we get any further, make sure you subscribe, make sure you thumbs up the video as well. It just allows other people to see the video. Don't hog all the information for yourselves, you guys, okay? If you have an eye for detail, you're really good at putting together graphics and colors, and you can make things really stand out and pop on a page, then you may want to consider doing some freelance graphic design work. If you have experience creating a blog, maybe you created your own blog, maybe you created a blog or a website for a family member or a friend. If you have experience doing that, start selling your business. You can go on sites like Fiverr or Upwork and apply for open jobs, and these vary in how much they're willing to pay you, and they vary in what they are looking for. You can also just kind of post on social media here and there what you are capable of doing. Be bold, be honest, tell them, hey, I'm just starting, or hey, I'm really experienced and I know what I'm doing. If you are knowledgeable enough in websites like Wix or WordPress, then you don't need to know all the coding stuff. You just have to have an eye for design, and you have to know the basics. Make the website functional, make it look good, and hey, there you go. Reselling. Reselling is something that has really grown in the last year or two. People are doing it all the time. It used to be eBay was the main place to do this at, but people are doing this on sites like Mercari and Poshmark. You can go on there and set up an account, and you can just resell items, clothing items a lot of times, but places like Mercari, they allow you to resell toasters if you want to. A lot of times people are going to stores like Goodwill and the Salvation Army stores and Ross and buying items there and then reselling them on these other sites. I guess that's legal. I guess you can do that. So hey, some people do that. It's worth looking into. I personally haven't done it yet, but I know people have done it. So if you're all about finding a deal and flipping it and making some money, then hey, you may want to consider doing some reselling. Being a virtual assistant. Being a virtual assistant is something you can do if you are pretty much computer savvy, if you know how to use Word and Excel, and you know how to create PowerPoint presentations, and you know how to schedule appointments and respond professionally in emails, then you may want to consider doing a virtual assistant job, maybe part-time. You may want to look into speaking with people who have startup companies or small businesses. They don't have a ton of time on their hands to respond to emails and to make sure that orders were processed and things like that need to go on in behind the scenes. You can offer your services to small businesses, people who are just starting out and need help with those things, because it takes a lot to run a small business, and you can be that person behind the scenes making sure that everything runs smoothly. You answer the emails, you make the appointments, you fill out the spreadsheets, things like that, just to make sure everything runs nice and smooth. Nice and smooth, not rocky, nice and smooth behind the scenes. So if you're computer savvy, you may want to consider doing virtual assistant work. If you are social media savvy, you may want to consider being a social media manager. This is great for small businesses as well. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that needs to be done, and social media is the biggest form of advertisement out there, one of the biggest forms out there. It is ever changing and evolving, and more people are turning to social media to advertise for their businesses. If you are social media savvy, you know all about all of the new crazes, all of the new info that's going out there. You know about the tags, and you know about the hashtags, and you know about, it can be exhausting, y'all. Just thinking about it right now is exhausting. But if you are knowledgeable in social media stuff, then consider being a social media manager. And I kind of saved this one for later in the video, but data entry is still a thing. People still need people to punch in those numbers in those spreadsheets. So if you have some knowledge about medical stuff, legal stuff, technology jargon, then data entry may be good for you. It's something you can usually do from home. Actually, all you need is a computer really and connection to the internet. But yeah, if you know how to type, you're good at that stuff, you are very detail oriented, consider data entry as possibly a part-time job. Maybe you can do it full-time if you want to. But if you're good enough, maybe you can just do the freelance and then do it whenever you just need extra money. But it's still something that's out there, you guys. People still use Excel, they still use spreadsheets. They gotta track their data, they gotta track their numbers, and it's a job that doesn't really take a whole lot mentally to do, besides maybe some mental stamina to stay awake. But other than that, it's a pretty simple job. You just kind of have to get your foot in the door, and you can go on sites like Upwork and see what's there. They do occasionally post data entry jobs on that site, so you may want to look into that. I feel like I need to mention these last two just because they are a thing, and so you may want to consider them. But Etsy, if you are a creative person and maybe you make candles or you distress jeans or you know how to paint or you, I don't know, make greeting cards. People do make greeting cards and sell them on Etsy. People make hats, knit hats, I should say. Knit scarves, things like that. If you're a creative person and you want to sell things, you can consider Etsy. Etsy sells so many different things. If you would like to, you can consider Uber and Lyft. Those are rideshare apps that you can go through and drive people to their destination. If you don't have a car, some of them even allow you to rent a vehicle and use that to drive people around. So that's something you want to consider. Of course, there's also things like Uber Eats and DoorDash that you can also do if you want to make a little extra money. That's what I have for you guys. I hope this was helpful for you if you are looking for some freelance work or a part-time job or just something that you can do to make some extra money. You're trying to get your hustle on. I understand. Hey, it is what it is. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.